calls after our heavy rains got a leak. We've got tips from the experts to make sure you don't get ripped off.
The House is expected to vote on the release of the Epstein files tomorrow, but tonight we're hearing from one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims.
Lisa Golden, whose hoarding case plagued her neighborhood for years, is back in court today. The charges she's facing.
With their future on the line, Chula Vista students are taking climate change into their own hands. How they're leading by example.
It's Thanksgiving, y'all.
Mariah Carey's Christmas song is going to have to wait. Lou Wars just released a Thanksgiving jam you gotta hear.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now.
We begin with a live look north from La Jolla Shores, where things are looking calm ahead of another round of rain in the coming hours. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. That incoming rain makes today a weather impact alert day. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis has been really busy tracking this storm, and she joins us early for a first look at what we can expect and when. Carlene?
Yeah, that rain is starting to make its way across Southern California right now. We're already seeing alerts that have been going into effect as a result of that. That brings in flood advisories. One just expired for the Santa Barbara area, still looking at it for Ventura and as well portions of LA. You also have some gusty winds that are picking up with that, and also a winter weather advisory. This system looks to be a colder one than the one we just had, and so some snow accumulations 2 to 4 inches for Big Bear. Locally, we could see maybe a ½ an inch to an inch. But let's focus more so on the rain. So we start to have that rain rolling in during the 8 o'clock hour. You are seeing it come in from the north and spread a little bit more towards the south. So light to moderate rainfall once again in the forecast, and we're still seeing that as we go into about 11:10 for tonight. Getting caught up there, heaviest across the mountains, then lifting towards the desert. This is about 12:35 for the late night, early morning hours, however you want to slice it, as we go into later on. Still looking at some wet weather moving through with this area of low pressure by tomorrow morning, making it a slick morning drive around 8 a.m. Then we get into the rest of the day where things kind of taper off a little bit, but we're not done yet. More wet weather after that. We'll get to all those details coming up. Carlo.
Thanks, Carlene. We'll see you in a few. And as always, you can find our extended weather forecast on CBS 8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, many homeowners are finding leaks in their roofs as the wet weather rolls through, and scammers are ready to take advantage of your stressful situation.
CBS 8's Steve Price is working for you tonight. He joins us live from Mission Hills with some tips from an industry professional. Steve.
And Carlo and Anna, I'll tell you, as somebody who has personally had to deal with a roof leak, it is an extremely stressful situation. You want it fixed fast before the rains come again and you have mold issues. But experts say moving too fast can cause even bigger problems. Water dripping from the smoke alarm and bubbles in the ceiling. You don't need a roofer to know this is bad.
Every time it rains in San Diego, we get an influx of calls.
Eric Richardson with Roofing Specialists of San Diego says every time it rains hard in San Diego, he gets flooded with calls, but he only has so many workers. So getting back to everyone takes time, and that's when the trouble starts. Customers rush to get someone out there fast.
They get into a panic, they finally find somebody that answers, and they don't do a bunch of back-end checking. They don't check for their workers' comp, their liability insurances, reviews, because they have a live person ready to solve their issues.
Working for you, we asked Robert for red flags to spot trouble with a roofer. He says pressure to sign something immediately is tip number one. He recommends getting multiple estimates and make sure everything is in writing.
In the scope of work, in the estimate, what type of material, how many square feet, how many lineal feet. If we run into woodwork, do you have a menu that tells me 1x2s, 2x2s, 2x8s, 2x4s, sheets of plywood, broken down per piece, per foot?
The California Contractor State License Board adds you should never pay cash, never pay more than 10% down or $1,000, whichever is less, and don't make a final payment until you are satisfied all contract expectations have been met. Robert also recommends getting references.
Nextdoor, Yelp. Go on Google and simply Google roofing contractor and start to build a list.
Robert understands leaks are stressful. His advice, if you see a bubble in your ceiling, poke a hole to let the water out and keep a bucket underneath, limiting the damage.
If it starts to splash, put a towel in the bucket to minimize the splash. Put a towel under the bucket, move electronics.
And one last tip from Robert, Prepare for the rain before it gets here. Get up on your roof. Make sure you clean out your gutters, clean out the downspouts, because if those start to back up, Carlo and Anna, that can send more water into your roof. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Those are actually some really good tips, Steve. Thank you so much. And remember, if there's something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
House lawmakers are gearing up for a vote tomorrow that would compel the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files.
And tonight, President Trump is saying he will sign it if it reaches his desk. CBS 8's Alex Cheney has more from a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. We're also hearing from the former chairman of the Republican Party in San Diego County. Alex?
In a press conference today, Alicia Arden said that she was sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein in 1997. She is now pleading with the House to vote yes tomorrow on a bill that would compel the release of the Epstein files.
President Trump just told everyone to just move on.
In attorney Gloria Allred's office today, Alicia Arden recounted the moment she says Jeffrey Epstein sexually assaulted her in 1997 at a hotel in Los Angeles for what she thought was a legitimate modeling audition for the Victoria's Secret catalog.
And he wanted me to come closer, and he started touching me, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. And he said, "Let me manhandle you," which I've never heard that word.
She is now pleading for the House to vote to approve the legislation tomorrow that would compel the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files.
I beg you to release these files once and for all. I mean, there is no valid reason for refusing to do so.
In the Oval Office today, President Trump said he would sign the legislation if it comes to his desk, a reversal after previously trying to stop their release.
I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that.
Obviously, it's good to get things, be transparent.
Meanwhile, Corey Gustafson, the former chairman of the Republican Party in San Diego County, says there are no bombshells in the files. They would have already been leaked.
In our highly partisan environment today, if there was something that people would have affected a national election, it would have come out before.
And says it's taken this long to get the files because the president is trying to protect the victims.
And I think what he was trying to do was make sure that the folks who were innocent on that list, especially the names of the victims, were protected in every possible respect.
Meanwhile, attorney Gloria Allred says it's time to release the files.
I would like to begin by thanking the president for urging the Republicans in the House to vote to support the discharge petition and on the floor to release the Epstein files.
The bill would have to first pass the House, then the Senate, and then it will be sent to the president's desk for his signature. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8 News.
All right, Alex, thank you. A woman whose hoarding case plagued an Ocean View Hills neighborhood for years was back in court today and arraigned on new charges.
CBS 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from Chula Vista with more. Steffi, what are we learning about these new charges tonight?
Well, she's charged with a number of crimes, including stalking, domestic violence, making death threats, and disobeying a court order. Now, this is video we recorded during the arraignment today. You can see Golden, who made a point to hide her face from our cameras. You may recall back in May, a San Diego judge ordered her to stay 100 yards away from her former home after 2 suspicious fires and the disappearance of $200,000. The House had previously been the subject of hoarding complaints. In August, neighbors say she started living out of her cars on Seadrift Way after a judge ordered the sale of her original property. Neighbors reported that Golden's vehicles were filled with trash, rotting food, various items, and it all created an unsanitary condition and unpleasant odors. The issue came to a head in late August when police towed her multiple vehicles. We caught up with one of the neighbors today from the area, Ronnie Lee Taylor. He was called on by the district attorney to appear today, and the judge permitted Lee Taylor to address the court and speak on his negative experiences with Golden. The judge also granted him a restraining order against Golden this afternoon.
I came today because I really want to make my point, and I really want to make sure that action be taken by the court. And I think by me coming here today and putting a face behind all the incidents, and I think that helped influence the judge's actions.
Golden is currently being held at the Las Colinas Detention and Reentry Facility, and today her bail was raised to $300,000. She will appear in court next on December 2nd. For now, reporting live from Chula Vista, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
The story that just continues. Well, one of San Diego's longest running publications is on the brink of shutting down.
The San Diego Reader has been around for more than half a century, but tonight its owner is pleading for help. The Reader was founded in 1972 as an independent weekly paper. It specialized in all things local, from community issues to upcoming shows, restaurant reviews, and even featured free classified ads. But signs of trouble started back in February when the Reader closed its Golden Hill offices and transitioned to an online format. Recently, the owner posted online asking for help in raising $120,000 to secure the Reader's future for the next few years. As of today, $10,000 has been raised. A warning tonight from housing advocates.
Why California's budget cuts could leave thousands of affordable housing projects in limbo. That's still ahead. Plus, what we're learning about a home explosion here in Southern California that sent more than half a dozen people to the hospital.
And the agreement just reached by the estate of the late O.J. Simpson after this.